Those guys.
Oh, no doubt.
Welcome to Acute Mania Live. Okay, I always do it like that for some reason. But I'm really excited. I almost knocked that whole desk over. I'm excited tonight. There's some veterans in the room. I don't know if you like to be known as veterans. Not like military veterans.
Sorts,
I don't know if you guys are military veterans.
Please clarify
music
that.
scene
But
veterans.
I can also say thank you for your service still because you're music veterans of the area. Jeff and Jeremiah from Law Abiding Citizens are here. Welcome to the show, guys. It's nice to have you here.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us, man.
I've never met you guys. Well, maybe we might have crossed paths at some point.
say-
You would have thought we would have.
With
you know.
what we were talking about
The
earlier,
circles
we
of-
had to have.
Yeah.
So
We were reminiscing about the ones that the ones that got away. Well, we were, but the ones that are, the 4-year bands, the bands that are just around for a short time and then they go away. You don't hear about them anymore. And that was one of them, the Caterpillar Scheme.
Yep.
Those guys were a staple for a while. Yeah.
those guys were incredible.
Yeah.
They started out as Down July.
They did. Yeah.
And then they ended up changing it to the Caterpillar Scheme.
And nobody knew why.
I thought I did at one point, but I don't know. I know the Caterpillar Scheme was the name of a song.
Isn't it like
on one of the
a movie
on-
or something? No, but Butterfly Effect is what I'm thinking.
Caterpillar Scheme is also there's a line from I don't know that this is part of it, but there's a line from a book called The Adventures of Cavalier and Clay, although I think there's another word in there, by Michael Chabon, and I think that they may have gotten the name from the book. I don't know.
That sounds.
But they also when they became the Caterpillar Scheme, they didn't play the Down July songs anymore.
I know, and that's what made me mad.
Well, that's what
It made me really mad.
It was an evolution though, because
Right.
I mean, Down July was really good.
Yeah, it was like a new sound or something.
Well, it was
new.
good, but when they evolved into the Caterpillar Scheme, it was a completely different thing, and
Yeah.
just incredible. Yeah.
I'm still pretty sure that's where they took the name from. Well, I mean, obviously could have been from what you said, but I know the Caterpillar Scheme was a song title on that first Down July record, and I think
You think it was?
I'm pretty sure. I've got two
I don't
copies.
remember- I
I've
don't
got two
remember
different
those.
versions of that record.
I mean, that is true.
Yeah, because
but-
they added a couple new songs to something on that
on the second
on the
version.
second
of it.
version
Yep.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I need
it's,
copies of those. Do you have copies?
Mhm.
Can you make me a copy?
Sure.
On vinyl?
No. Nobody was putting out vinyl back then unless they had a 7-inch.
A lot of people are doing vinyls and cassettes again too. There's some
Mhm.
bands that are doing cassettes.
I saw Indecision finally did what I wanted a band to do since everyone started doing cassettes and then putting download codes with the cassettes, because why make a format that no one has anymore?
I don't even have a CD player in my car anymore.
Speak for
Indecision.
yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Speak for yourself.
No, I've got all that.
Yeah.
People make fun of me when they see my iPod Classic, and I'm like, that's what I listen to music on. But Indecision re-released one of their old records, and they put it on an 8-track. I've got a photo of it somewhere on my phone. I'm mad I didn't order it.
Do you have an
That's
8-track
cool shit.
player?
I used to.
My parents had. They probably still have it. It's just like a radio, but it has an 8-track player on the radio too. I think the antenna's broken off the radio, so that's out of the question. But
Nah,
yeah, the 8-track. Yeah.
I had one when my pap passed away. Big old 70s. You know, it was a turntable, AM/FM unit,
All
and
in
then
one.
had an 8-track in it.
Entertainment center.
And it was, you know, I mean, it was something like almost like a coffee table. You know, you put it in the side of the room, you could put crap all
So
over.
it's like wooden siding, or what's it called?
Yeah, that fake wood paneling.
Yeah,
shit.
wood
Like
paneling.
it looked
they
big
had
as
on
hell.
Station wagons out in the driveway. Yeah.
It looked big as hell, but like I could pick it up and carry it by myself because there's only 2 speakers in the back of it, and then just what sits in the top. I ended up getting rid of it just because I had nowhere to put it. But
Well, let's dive into Law Abiding Citizens, because I don't personally know much about you. I should, because I mean,
why should you?
well, I should be. Well, you were around the time when I started going to live local shows.
Right.
You know, when I started saying, hey, I don't need to go to Pittsburgh. There's a great bar called Pleasant Street. You know, there's actually, I think that was the only spot at that time that I knew of. So I started frequenting. I mean, I would go all the time. I would see Caterpillar Scheme all the time, and all the bands that they played with, I would see. You know, but I just never looked into anybody unless I knew them. You know, like looked into who they are. So how did the band start? I mean, when, and you remember even?
Yeah, I mean,
that's more for him.
yeah. So
The
the
story.
band. Well, no, I'm not. It's not that I made a story, and it's just that Jeff joined a couple of years after the actual beginning. But you know, the beginning was, I don't know, pretty dubious. It started sometime in 1995. It could have been as early as 1994, but I don't think so. It started, I think, sometime in 1995, and it was my brother Jordan, who's still the drummer, and the bass player Jeremy Schatz, and the original guitar player Jason Gillespie. And they all we moved to Morgantown in the late summer, fall of, I think, 1994. And they met up and hung out, and they sort of coalesced around liking the same music and also being idiots together. And they started playing. We had a drum set, sort of a ratty old drum set that Jordan just started knocking around on, and Jeremy was learning bass, and Jason was, I think, a little bit better than them at that point. And they got together, and they really just started playing. At first, it was a garage band. They played in the garage of the house where we lived on Wagner Road at the time in Morgantown. And then I think due to neighbor complaints, it ended up being moved into the basement, and they still complained. And they still called the cops. But that was the beginning, and it was just them messing around and playing. It was like a year or so, I think, before there was ever even the possibility that they might play out. And at this point in time, I was in a band actually with Jeff, although I was warned not to call Jeff an actual member. Jeff was a guest member, so I wasn't allowed to. I wasn't allowed to.
Let me guess. Danny told you that?
Yeah. So
Oh, Danny.
I was in a band.
Shout out to Helmet Dan.
Yeah, shout out to Helmet Dan, absolutely. But I was in a band called Burner. I played bass in that band, and Jeff was in that band.
Guest member, huh?
It's gonna be-
20-some years later, and I finally found that out.
It wasn't guest. Well,
I
sorry.
know.
Well, what he said was probably worse, but I don't remember.
The truth is that.
Anyway, whatever.
We're still best friends.
Yeah, of course. So that was the beginning of the band, and it was 3 kids just messing around, trying to figure things out. It was inauspicious. It was very there was never, I think, at that point in time, any thought of it going anywhere or turning into anything other than a diversion. And they played all the time. They practiced all the time. It was
Well, the cops were called all the time.
yeah,
so
yes, of course.
that makes
No,
sense.
they called the cops a lot. They did. They did. I mean, it wasn't like one or two times. One time they got called for some other thing, and when they came, they showed up and they said something to my mom like, "You realize we've been called here like 20 times in the last 2 years?" And it was mainly due to noise complaints because we lived around a bunch of assholes. Essentially.
Yeah.
They were bad neighbors. They were not very good people.
So not necessarily old, just bad people.
Some of them were old
Yeah.
and bad. Some of them were
Cranky.
younger and bad, but they were just not. They didn't like a family that acted like a family that had like young people that they didn't like that, and it was just we got off a very bad start with these people, and it never got any better. But I think it might have been good for the development of things. I don't think so. I think that mainly they in the beginnings of the band, it was just the three of them, and they'd go to school, they'd come home, they'd get into extracurricular shit, and then they would just play, and they played for hours, and they got markedly better. And so when I left, I stopped playing bass and burner for I don't even remember why, but it just I moved on. And they'd had a couple of singers that weren't serious, but they were starting to get pretty good, and I was listening to them all the time. And so when I hear them getting better and better and better, I had sung some backup for Burner, and I wanted to try being more of a lead singer, and it just sort of coalesced, and it was just an easy coming together, and it just began to grow from there. But it still took a long time. We were together for probably a year and a half before Jeff joined the band.
Yeah, because I was in 7X during that time. We did a couple of shows with you guys. We did the Morgantown, the Morgantown Sound Show.
Yeah,
live from Pleasant Street. We did that.
I've done that one too. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
We did a bunch of shows.
U92 did that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, my friend Orville used to be he was the guy that started that show and like started the live shows and stuff like that.
Now, where did the name Law Abiding Citizen? Now, I was going to ask you, does it have to do with the cops coming all the time? Did it have anything to do with that?
Nothing at all to do with it.
Okay.
So God damn it!
I was going to ask this. I have to ask this.
I know,
man.
I know, and I'm still.
You're the only two of us can answer.
Yeah.
It too.
So it's.
We were just a guest member anyway for a while.
Well, that was Burner.
No. Oh, okay.
He was a full-fledged member. We didn't treat him like Dan did.
Okay.
We valued Jeffy. Anyways, whatever. So the name, I don't know. The name apparently comes from them taking a break and going down the street to this car wash, where I think they got high behind the car wash.
No.
And they were there, and I think someone drove by and gave them a look like, because if I was a 47-year-old woman in Morgantown in 1995,
What now?
and I was driving down South High Street, and I saw the three of them behind
Hoodlums.
the car
There's
wash.
hoodlums behind the car wash.
I don't know if I would call them hoodlums, but I would have looked at them and thought like, Jesus, I might have also thought like, Jesus Christ,
Those kids.
what are these kids doing with their lives?
Smoking drugs behind the car wash.
Anyway, somebody legend has it, according to them, and remember that this is like 14-year-old stoners trying to remember something. Anyway, they someone made the comment like, why would she look at us like that? We're law-abiding citizens. And then someone said, no, man, we're law-abiding citizens. And then it went from there. And when I joined the band for a little while, I was like, whatever, it's fine. And it's a pun, and I hate that it's a pun.
Yeah.
And I wanted to change it pretty early on. I was voted down, and then for some reason, Jeff might have been in the band by the time this happened, but I do remember people being like, no, you got to keep the name.
What were you wanting to change it to? Why were you...
I have no idea.
Why you voted down?
Something that wasn't a fucking pun. I just couldn't, And for a while, I was like, that's okay. At least it has the virtue of being original.
Yeah.
But there's a fucking hip hop group in New York, or was in the late 90s, called Law Abiding Citizens.
Yeah.
But they spelled it BYT.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
And I think there might have been a Z. And they're not together anymore, so like we outlasted them.
Well, I mean, I know LBC was that's what people would say,
and that's
were,
fine.
Were you going? Well, I'm going to go to Pleasant Street and CLBC.
Sure.
That's what I always heard. And I'm like, who is that? A
Just-
rap group? Who is this? You know. And then I,
Just
you know.
just call us that. Then I mean, whatever. It's
Well, I
just-
mean, that was
yeah.
big. That was that was big when Snoop came out. And
Yeah.
everybody was saying
The
Had
LBC.
nothing-
So
had nothing
had
to do
nothing
with
to
it.
do with us, but it
Long
was.
Beach, California, right?
But it was cool.
Had nothing. Yeah.
It has nothing to nothing to do with Snoop, but I always thought it was kind of cool that like we kind of had to play off of that, and like to this day, if you go, like seriously, if you look us up online, we're the only band in what 30, almost 30 years that you will find when you type in Law Abiding Citizens.
Yes.
There is a band.
Comes up immediately.
There's a band from if you go on YouTube. Not YouTube. If you go on Spotify, there's a band from Arizona that has a song called "Law Abiding Citizen." It's not. It's a song.
Yeah.
It's not. And,
Right.
And so
Well, there's
whatever.
there's a few stuff like that, but most of the things like if it'll come up, it'll say like, did you mean to say law abiding citizen?
Yeah, of course.
No.
We're,
The movie
you
with
know.
Jared Butler.
That pops
There,
up
yeah,
too.
that is. That's what I
Excellent
was
movie,
wondering
but
if
no.
it was anything to do with that.
It has nothing to do with
Okay.
that. I mean, the name. You know,
It's all from the Karen that
The-
came down the street in her car, right?
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know.
to some extent.
Yeah.
It
That's
could
the
have
story
been
I know.
anything.
Legend.
That's the story that I was told. The name has virtually nothing to do with anything that we sing about.
I think
You
it fits
know.
the genre of music, though. You know,
Sure.
Like, you know, just because it's. I think I what was it on? Was it on Bandcamp that says like punk hardcore or hardcore punk? Somewhere I read that,
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
and it fits that genre. You know, just kind of like not F the world or F the society, but you know, just kind of like I don't know. Maybe you can
I'm
explain.
sorry.
it
Are
better
we
than I
not
can.
supposed to be cussing? Cause,
No, you can cuss.
Okay,
It's I believe it's
censoring yourself, man. You gotta tell me.
You're good.
You
You're
gotta
good, yeah.
tell me this before we
Yeah.
go on the air,
I mean,
man.
you know,
Sorry.
don't overdo it. But, you know,
I mean, overdo
yes,
it.
you may say fuck if you
Okay,
want to say
okay,
fuck.
okay, yeah.
I'm not gonna bleep it out either. So
Yeah.
This
No,
is-
you're
this is
right.
live.
I think I think the name fit. The name stuck. It seemed to fit for the like especially what the guys were in the very beginning.
Sure.
In the very beginning, even before I joined the band, they did play a couple shows and people liked it, but not ironically,
Yeah.
but because it was chaotic and weird and they were fun to watch, but also like it was kind of like a joke band. And then off stage when they hung around, everybody just thought they were crazy and funny to be around. And
so
it
basically,
kind
it wasn't supposed to be what it became.
No,
they were
of
just,
course
they were just
not.
doing it for
No.
fun. I mean, just like everybody.
Yeah, of course.
Bands
Yeah.
do, I guess.
I think
Right?
according to Jordan, like he said that we're surprised the band has lasted this long.
I'm amazed that anybody ever liked it at all. I'm always amazed that people like it.
Well,
you know, especially
in a
if
little
you
while,
realize where it's from.
we'll talk about the future of the band. We'll talk
Sure.
about how you even got to this point. I mean,
Sure.
you might not even know
By not
but
quitting.
It's
Yeah.
badass. I want to listen to a song though.
Okay.
That way, I'm sure there's viewers that don't know who you are or what you're about. But
Okay.
the music's phenomenal. And as soon as I got back in contact with you, as soon as I found you on Instagram, I started listening on Bandcamp, and I was like, man. This is, I mean, I think it was really warm that day. Like middle of February, it was really warm. I had the windows down, and I just cranked it.
Nice.
Cranked it,
Well,
then
appreciate
some 47-year-old lady. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Nothing against that
let's-
woman. I hope that woman's having living a
She's
wonderful life.
Just fine, that lady. Let's say, okay, there we go. See, I'm all out of sorts. I'm usually sitting there, just sitting there. And
That's
just,
cool.
But everything's down here, and I don't know.
You're doing fine.
We look
We're all
focused, though, don't we? We look focused.
Hey.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
focused enough.
It's looking good.
Oh, Alicia's in the chat room. She's from Clarksburg. She lives in North Carolina now, and she's a good friend of mine.
good. Okay. What's up? How you doing?
She says, "Hey there," and then Mike on the couch, he just thumbs up because I asked him to check the sound for us. He said, "Thumbs up."
Thumbs
Gotcha.
up. Great.
We sound excellent
So-
and we look excellent. So let's listen to. Well, we can't lose. I can't lose.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you already went to
that
the
was a
song
great
break.
segue,
Jeez.
though. I mean, we can't lose because we look great. We sound. So what's this about? This is 04, right?
This was yeah. I
No,
think
this was 2000. We released it. No,
this is the second.
no, you're right. Yeah,
Second record. This
fir-
came out in 04, but this was not recorded
Okay.
then.
yeah.
This
The
was
first album came
I
out in
see.
'99, 2000.
Yeah, this would have been recorded sometime, probably 2002, I think.
Okay.
Maybe in and around there. So.
If you have the CD I gave you, it's on there.
Oh yeah, I do. I want to
Yeah.
show that stuff off too.
yeah.
Yep, right here. Whoops.
Yeah, it should be right on the back cover. Of course, I don't have my glasses on.
Here, I got my glasses on. They're in my
2000.
eyes.
Yeah, you're right. 2004.
There you go.
So
Sweet.
There you
What do you know about that?
What's the song about? And why can't you lose?
God damn. What is this song about?
Do you want to talk about it after the song?
Yeah, we'll play it, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. Sure.
go. The lyrics are in
Sometimes
there
it's
if you need to.
I know the lyrics.
Here.
I know. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Here's Law Abiding Citizens with I Can't Lose.
Oh, I realize I can't lose. Oh, I can't lose. So after much of my chest is full, the one opinion I get from you, it won't have been all in the end. I can't lose. My chest is full. Now I don't pain that I take from you. It won't hurt me at all in the end. I can't lose. So much of my chest is full. Now I don't pain that I take from you. It won't hurt me at all in the end. I can't lose. I'm not alone, but I can't lose. When nothing I can do but it's sense to you. So I don't care what your friends say. I know what I'm saying, gonna get from my head. Cause I know what I'm supposed to be. I don't need to live with what I can't say. That you think I would ever do to injure you. I thought you knew. I thought you knew. I thought you knew. I can't lose.
That was perfect timing.
Now you guys are. I've done this before. You guys are getting ready to do a reunion show in May.
Yep.
I'm going to be there in the front. I might need to backstage. I've never been upstairs in Pleasant Street.
The upper bar.
No, the green room, I guess,
Oh,
where the
I
bands
haven't
go.
either.
You're not missing anything.
I don't want to
Okay.
go. I don't
Well, if
wanna
you guys
go
are going to be up
in
there,
this.
I want to come up and hang out.
We're not going to
Just
be in
to-
that room.
for an
Nah, we're
excuse.
we're always
Come up.
hanging out in.
Amongst people, right?
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
going to be outside.
the
probably.
green room's not as exciting as you think it is.
Well,
It's just.
Yeah.
Regardless, I can't
I'd rather
wait
sit down and
see-
talk to everybody than sit by myself
Oh,
up
yeah.
in the green room and do nothing.
I can't wait to hear it live, though. It's going to be
Hey.
a lot of fun, you know.
Yeah, well, it's funny because you picked a song that I'm not even entirely sure we're gonna play live.
You are now.
Well, yeah. Okay. all right.
I'll
So,
play it. I'll open up for you.
All right. All right.
Speaking of opening, do you have any other bands playing with you that night, or is it just a night of LBC?
No, it's gonna be
No,
good.
this is. I guess it's kind of a selfish night, actually.
It's not a selfish night.
No, it.
No, that's a selfish night.
It's a selfish night.
Yeah,
it's
not a selfish night.
it's the night before my 50th birthday.
That's right. Yes,
And,
I remember you. I wasn't going to say anything. I was kind of waiting for you to. 'Cause
Yeah.
when you get older, people don't like to talk about their birthdays. But
we
50's
we like
a
to
good.
talk about Jeffy's
50 is a good one to talk about.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're
that's
gonna talk
a-
about Jeffy's
That's the
birthday,
over the hill
for
one.
sure.
It.
No, I think 40.
40 was over the hill.
Yeah, you're right.
50,
I'm-
50 makes me half a century man.
He's
Everyone
like
after 40.
hurtling towards the bottom. Like
This is it here.
You're not wrong.
You thought the 40s were bad.
Nah, he's fine.
Nah,
he's
they-
fine. He doesn't look 50.
He doesn't
He's
look a day over 40.
maybe 47, 48. I wouldn't say 50.
Yeah, we'll go to that. We'll go with that. But no, I mean, like I've always, you always try to do something cool, and I was like, everybody has asked us, or asked me at least, I know of, ever since our last show in 2010. When are you guys playing again? When are you guys
No,
playing
20
again?
Is that how long it's
2017.
been since the last
No,
one?
No,
we
no.
played-
No, our final show was
our-
2010.
No, our final show was 2006. We played a reunion
The
in
final?
2010.
Yes,
Then
you're
we
right.
played a reunion in 2017.
He's turning older, pretty soon.
This has
So you got to
nothing
remind him
this
of
has
what's
nothing
going on.
to do with age. There's nothing to do with age. I'm sorry to
It's-
correct you live on the
Did
air.
you mean-
No, it's
Did you-
okay.
I simply could not let it
I've got
stand.
so
This
much
is the best time
information
to
in my
correct him
head.
live. That way.
No, I have so much information in my head from so many years. It's
right.
That's true.
Keeping
He
it all
remembers-
straight.
You'll
he
lose.
remembers
You'll
a
lose
lot.
eventually. So you might as well.
He
Keep it.
remembers a lot more about this shit than I do.
But so it's been 2010 was the last time you guys played together as a band, then, right?
2017 was the last.
2017.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've done 2 reunions since the official
Last
putting the band
show.
to.
Did you ever think
bed.
when you joined the DLBC?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what Snoop Dogg would say, the DLBC. But no, when you joined, did you ever think that hey, for the day of my 50th birthday, I would like to do a reunion show?
No,
Nobody ever thinks of that, honestly.
no.
Right? But-
I mean, I've been playing in bands for 30 years, and I'm still, I've still got current band I'm in, and putting out a project for my last band that I was in, and doing this, and trying to work on another one.
what
but
is
like it's what I've always done. I wouldn't say I would have ever expected to be sitting next to Jeremiah going, "Let's do LBC when I'm 50," but I would be doing something
Come on
because
this
I'm
crazy
still
show called
can-
Acute Mania and just
say that again.
Yeah.
right. Because I'm still doing music.
Yeah.
I can't not do it.
That
You
we
know.
talked about it too. As soon as you guys got here, I was like, yeah, I gotta do music. You have
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
you know.
But not skirting the question of
Sure.
the show. Yes, we do have our friends band, the 304 Recons, that we used to play.
Oh,
with.
they're gonna play. Yes.
Yep.
Guys, it's been
They are on. They are
probably
on the
been
bill.
decades since they played also, right?
When
Together.
together, yeah. I know some of those guys, Monster Lung and
Well, 6'6"
Six
did some
Six.
solo stuff, right?
He did, and then he now goes by Jumbo Green. That's his new
Okay.
name. But like him and Monster Lung, they were doing some stuff. Monster Lung has a new thing called the Jordan Clan, where he Boom Bap Disciples is his new thing. He makes beats.
That's a cool name.
And he has a bunch of stuff on his Instagram channel that he
Nice.
puts out. But no, like
What is it? Boom bap? What?
Boom Bap Disciples.
That's awesome.
It's really cool. His Instagram, he's always putting out new beats.
So they're gonna
and
they're
having
gonna play
people like
before
sing
you
it.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
May 20.
May 27th.
It's a Friday.
27th.
Friday the 27th. Or no, it's a Saturday.
Is it Saturday?
Saturday.
It's Saturday. I mean,
Because my birthday's the 28th, but I was like, we have to do it
Now,
on
is anybody
Saturday.
gonna be
so
letting
people
off
can come
fireworks
out.
on the stage for your birthday?
No, we're not Great White.
No.
We're not guys like that.
We're not
I have
Barracuda
a
either.
closet full of fireworks in there. So I mean, is there a
Yeah.
roof of Pleasant Street I can?
No, please
Okay.
keep them at home, man.
I'm offering. So.
Not since I saw Mike Chan set his entire band on fire and burn his nipple off.
If 123 Pleasant Street were to burn down,
Yeah, we can't even talk about that.
pack up Morgantown and move it
We're not allowed to talk about that.
to
are we?
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, it's over. It's done.
well, that's gonna be great, and even better. So 6'6" will be there,
6'6". When
be
I talked to
there, yeah.
when I talked to Eric, aka Monster
and you
Lung,
can't miss him because he's
he
6'6".
I was at the bar one night hanging out and I was telling him about the show, and then and it hit me. I'm like, can I get recons? And he immediately pulled out his phone
Yeah.
and he goes, give me a few.
Wow.
And then he said,
Boom.
it's all recons or
And I
nothing.
said,
That's
I
awesome.
will not do it. I don't want it to happen unless Paycheck Game. Is
Oh,
also
yeah, that
part
was-
of it.
Oh yeah.
No, that's the thing. Like,
So it's everybody.
Eric looked at me and said, he goes, it's all recons or nothing. And I got
Yes.
a message the next
There it
day. We got Monster Lung, we got Paycheck Game, 66240, Big Chief,
Is it
DJ
sold out
Bearcat.
yet? 'Cause this show should be
I don't
sold
think
out by
they've even
now.
sold tickets yet. Man.
I have not put up a ticket link
Give me
yet.
the VIP pass. And I want to do it. I want to do a live show
Well, we'll
from
make-
from
we'll make
there
sure you get in.
that evening, and we'll get the recons together
Yeah.
on there as well. If we can, we'll set it up. Well, their microphones are way better than mine, but I don't have I don't have that kind of clout, so we'll make that happen.
Now tickets
I think it's
should be
important.
on sale for that as soon as I get off my butt and make a graphic. To
Make
give,
the tickets.
Well, I gotta make a graphic so that my buddy Nick at Pleasant Street he can
I know
have
Nick.
a graphic.
Nick's cool.
That way he can have a graphic to put up for the tickets and
So
get those
Vulgar
on
Royalty,
sale.
he's in.
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
Yep.
Shout out.
And I've hit them up a bunch of times to be on the show. So Vulgar,
Yeah, it's him
Yeah.
and Chris from.
Nick's busy though. I mean, he works there and does all the bookings and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. They're busy people.
He's
They're not
running
busy
his-
on gig days because they're got to get.
No, he still is. Those days you catch
No,
him in
Nick's
the
cool,
booth
Nick's
running
cool.
lights.
I see
so-
him all the time when I'm up there.
Yeah, I'm proud of
Gracious.
Nick. He's come a long way in the last couple of years of getting hired on.
I'm proud of Pleasant Street too, because Pleasant Street's really, it's not going to go away for a long time. Kind of like law-abiding citizens, but it's been there since before the Underground Railroad bar, not the actual Underground Railroad, but
Well, no, it's been there since it was the
Since
Underground
it was
Railroad.
Underground
Yeah,
Railroad,
yeah.
And then it was.
And then it-
I
then
mean,
it was-
it's a
the
legendary
Dry House.
legendary place. They've done so much with
And
the
then
sound, the lighting, everything is great since
Mm-hmm.
since the days of Caterpillar schemes and that
Oh,
stuff.
since well before that too.
Well, before that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's they just keep upgrading, and it's just a great spot, and I'll talk them up a lot. They don't know me anything, you know what I mean? It's just I love that.
Well,
It's a great
I love
club,
talking
and
to
it's
people.
kind of a miracle that it exists at all, and that it's stayed around as long as it has. And like I said before, I mean, I'm joking about moving Morgantown to Pennsylvania, but I do believe that if without 123, Morgantown would not have much. I don't think it would have much of
much
a
of a scene.
purpose.
Well, not much of
aside-
a music
And,
scene.
and
Well,
it
no-
all
no-
and it
no
all started
music
with Marcia when she
Yeah.
opened the Underground Railroad
Yeah.
in the Dry House.
But there's
know.
you have
Yeah.
WPU.
we owe a lot to Marcia.
Yeah.
And we don't even know where Marcia is, right? She's the one that kind of
Let's
walked out.
not even get into.
Yeah.
I don't wanna get into it
There's
either,
an
but
entire
There's a whole
podcast
podcast
about
on that.
Yeah,
you need to check
it
out
is
if you haven't seen it
right.
or listen to it.
Who did that one?
Jamie and Karen Zellemeyer, their mother and daughter,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
Jamie's-
It's a good show to
Jamie's
listen
mom
to.
It's
used
a
to
good
work there.
story,
And-
and it could just be an urban legend. But I mean,
it's not an
she was
urban-
a real person. I mean,
It's not an urban legend. I mean,
Yeah.
everything they talk about it actually.
Yeah.
Not to get into it.
Right.
And
We can't
our
avoid it,
friend, our departed friend Michelle Wolford,
Uh-huh.
who did so that picture you saw in the inside there. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know where the camera is, but the picture you saw.
Up where the big ringo is.
I don't know if anyone can see this, but that picture comes from a photo shoot that we did with the Dominion Post back in 2005, I think.
it's my turn to correct you. Ian took that photo, and then we
I
gave
can
it
post,
to
I can post
Michelle.
it. I'll post
Yeah,
it.
but it was.
But
sure.
it went in the Dominion,
But it went in the
Post.
Dominion Post.
Yeah,
You didn't exactly correct me. You got more. That's more details.
there's a little more on there for you.
Yeah, but anyways, Michelle did a really good, one of the only print interviews with us, and it was
Yeah.
a really good. It was a really
Michelle
nice-
gave us a lot of props.
a lot of props and a very good thing to do, and she was very dedicated to a good thing for us anyway.
Well, Michelle used to book shows.
Yeah, and
at the Underground with Marcia.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I brought her up, is she was a huge part of the scene. And then when we play shows now, which is not often, we typically give, if not all, a large percentage of what we make.
We like to give the proceeds to Michelle's charity, Pack the
Oh,
Bus.
nice.
Yeah, and other charities if they come up. So we generally don't. If we do a benefit, we tend to give that money away. We might save a little bit of it.
Sure. Yeah.
So Jeff can.
Operating expenses, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's
What?
No, I know where you're going.
No,
so
you don't know where I was going with that. You think I do. You think you knew. What was going on.
Mindy DeVille was on the last show, Less Than Zero. They're from Central PA. She's watching.
What's
she
up?
says, "Yo guys, what's up?"
Hey.
She loves the Field Day shirt.
Oh,
She
thank
says.
you.
She says,
This
"I'd
is-
love to see those guys live. Love the Peter Kortner Dag Nasty stuff."
Yes, I
know
was
nothing about this, so
no. Field Day is Peter and Doug Carrion from the Wig Out at Denko's era, Dag Nasty lineup. They are doing the new band Field Day. Obviously, is taken from the Dag Nasty album Field Day.
Okay.
But they're doing like all Field Day Wig Out era songs. They've written some new songs. I've got a couple of. They put out a couple of 7 inches. I got in a 10 inch. Really, really good stuff. and I got this shirt when I did the pre-order package for one of the 10 inches. So yes, this shirt is awesome. The back of it's really cool too.
Well, see no, I'm kidding.
No, I'm not gonna. I got too much crap.
That
in my
thing's
way.
hugging you anyway.
It's moving closer. So
I'm gonna have to get a better table. That's the problem. I think it's the
no, I just
camping
think,
table.
No, I just think it's the
It is.
clamp.
It's the whole thing.
So-
the whole setup.
I'll constantly move this.
It's a very high budget production here.
Very much so.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and listen to Untitled.
Sure.
And I don't want to. I don't know what I want to do.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. Okay, it's your show, man. Why is it Untitled? Why did this not get a name?
Frankly, I don't know. I think I couldn't. I mean, the title didn't jump out at me. It's not a song that I particularly like to play. I think we recorded it. We did play it a few times.
Are you gonna play it in May 20?
I don't know. I absolutely.
Why did I
do
pick
not
these
know.
ones that you're not gonna play?
There's been
No,
been
I know.
requests
There's been
for
requests.
it, so
There's been requests.
You'll figure
it
it out.
may
We'll figure
happen.
it
It
out.
may not happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I
you have a
personally would
bunch
like
of
to play it.
material, so it's gonna be.
We have enough, man.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna, so. But a title didn't jump out at me, and honestly,
Yeah.
it just didn't feel like. It didn't feel like it needed one. It's not a song that I particularly like playing. It's not because I hate the song, but it's not. It's mainly just because it's not it. None of the songs. I don't think we have a song that could be remotely like described as being upbeat or happy. I don't think any of it really fits. Not all of it is depressing and awful either, but none of it comes from a place of like, here we go. Like, I love music like that.
Yeah.
Johnny Nash, I can see clearly now. I'm not kidding. I love that
Yeah.
song.
This coming from a man that wrote the line "Dead bird on my doorstep." I guess it's going to
What?
be that kind of day.
Yeah, well, it was that kind of day.
It was.
absolutely like. But it's a particularly, I think it's a song about, it's a song. It's one of the only songs that I think I ever wrote that was like an issue song, and I don't know. There's just times when I wrote it, we played it, and I didn't feel like it needed anything else, and so we just stopped calling it. We started calling it an untitled song and let it be what it was.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a song that I wrote probably I wrote that song in probably 1999, maybe 1990. It might have been 2000, but I don't think so. And it was about, again, it's one of the only issue songs that I ever wrote. It was about gun violence, and I wouldn't say it's an issue song. It was an emotional song.
Yeah.
And it's just a reaction to something that was a problem then and continues to be a problem now.
Yeah.
And so there's times when there's
the
times when I
other
just
day.
don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with that song at all.
Yeah,
But we may end up playing it if we get enough requests, or we might not.
You might just
Because
have to do
I
like
might-
a song that's just a medley of your material, all night long.
that-
You know what I mean, that would be
that I don't
interesting
know.
for sure.
We'll see about that.
Acoustically though.
No.
That's the second part of the evening. Is Jeff's going to sit down with his guitar.
During the break.
He's
right?
got a couple Gordon Lightfoot songs that he's reworking in a really interesting
I'm
way.
sure he does.
Jeff's got a beautiful singing voice that he does not let
Let's
anyone
hear
hear.
it. Ready?
No.
No.
I'll scrap the outro and I'll get my guitar
No.
off the wall and
Let's
No,
listen. Let's listen to it.
Keep the outro.
and Francis says love your music.
Thank you, Francis.
thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Here is LBC or Law Abiding Citizens, if you will.
Whatever you want.
Either one.
Untitled.
I gotta take these words to go pee.
All right.
I know it goes on for a little bit longer,
Yeah,
but
it does.
you know.
It's fine. Cut it off.
It's fine. It's not fine.
Yeah.
If you want to hear the rest of that song, they might play it on the 27th at Pleasant Street at 8 o'clock. I don't know what time it is. I'm just
27th of May. Yeah, I don't know.
of May. Yeah,
No
don't go.
idea. No idea what time.
Doors will be 8. First band will go on about 9. I'm still holding off on the third band.
There you go.
I like to kind of build the hype machine and do it slowly. Like, I put our name out there, and people have been asking me, are tickets on sale yet? Are they on sale? Because it's going to sell out.
It's going to sell out.
I'm
For
like,
sure.
They're not yet, but I'll let you know as soon as they go on. And then I let that go for a little while, and then I announced the recons because a lot of people were really excited.
Well, you pretty
for
much
the
did
recons
already.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I've already let that out before I came in here to do
That's
that.
all
So
right.
Yeah.
it's
That's
all out
badass.
there.
That's
But
good. You might have to do a 2-night thing.
Man.
Nah.
You know how some bands like Pittsburgh or bigger bands will do like a 2 or like a whole weekend,
Yeah,
3
man, I
nights.
saw Billy Bragg in L.A. and he played 3 nights, and I managed to get.
I think you guys should do 2 nights at least. You might have to.
No.
I think if anything,
No.
Get there on the 27th, or you're just not going to be there. You
yeah,
gotta be
I
there
mean,
on the 27th.
the one night ought to do it.
Because then it's not even going to be Jeffy's birthday anymore, and then what's the
Yeah.
point?
Well, we could do it- we
no,
could
it'd
do
be
a
on his
matinee.
birthday. Yeah, that's.
Well, we could do John's birthday, which is the next week.
Well, we could do.
I think you should
we
just
could
keep
do
playing every weekend.
an old all ages Sunday matinee the next day. That would be my actual birthday.
You can do it here on the back
we're not
porch.
gonna- I don't think so.
I'll talk to the HOA. I'm not on the board anymore.
Yeah.
Trish, hello from well, Trish is in Canada.
Oh.
What's
Hey,
up?
Trish.
Nova Scotia. What's
Nice.
up? Really nice.
How you
Really
doing?
sweetie. She said, "Sorry, I'm late." Not, you don't have to apologize.
Not
But you
at
do
all.
have to go back and watch the part
The fact that you're watching now is the cool part.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Is
of
it?
course.
So, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, she's
That's
watching now, right?
She is watching.
Well-
I assume
Well,
Yeah.
then she's here for the ride. Then
she is. She probably knows it's time for the wiener segment.
I guess
She
so.
knows that this is the part of the show where we talk about wieners. So
You
I
keep
mean that's when
talking
everybody
about
else
this,
tunes
so
in.
I don't know
All
where
right,
we're
well,
going.
Yeah.
the thing is harmless. It's hot dogs. You
Okay.
kind of nailed it with the Wienermobile thing.
Right?
It's scary that you knew that, but I'm
Well-
surprised. Mike didn't even tell me.
No, it was.
This
yeah.
this is Mike's thing. Mike doesn't like to be on the camera. He's been on here one time for 5 minutes, and he said it was very awkward. I'm on here all the time, and it's awkward every time for me, but I just don't think about it anymore. And for some reason, people keep watching, people keep coming to the show. So
Yeah.
But anyway,
Then you're doing something right.
Mike has an awful. I used to say awkward, but now he has an awful fetish for hot dogs.
That is.
And
an
I say
awful
fetish
to
because
have.
fetish is very, very hardcore.
Because hot dogs are disgusting.
Not to Mike. And actually, I had hot dogs about 2 hours before you guys got here with his homemade chili. I never had homemade chili before, or sauce. Some people call it sauce in our area.
Right.
You know. So I had a band on. I'm pretty sure it was the band in Texas, and Mike had just gotten here back from Florida. He lived in Florida for a while, and he says ask him what kind of hot dogs they like. I mean, just out of the blue, he asked me. So I did. So we kind of made it a segment, but I kind of punished Mike for not doing the segment himself because.
Right.
So I called it the wiener segment, and eventually he got
You
mad.
call it the wiener
I
segment
do, yeah,
to
yeah.
punish you for
And
it.
Mike gets mad. Yeah, he's like, it's not the wiener segment, it's a hot. And I was like, listen, it'll be the hot dog segment when you do it. You know, because he'll say what. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into all that.
That makes.
But I do have an opening that I always forget to do. But I didn't forget tonight. But
Okay.
This is. I think did I change the? I don't know. We'll find out if I did. Oh, I know. Okay. So this is. My parents were in Hawaii a few weeks ago, and I forced them. I did. I forced them to be on the show. They watch all the time. But I forced them to be on the show.
What's up,
from
Mr. and
Hawaii.
Mrs.
Okay.
Arnold?
And they're very supportive. And my sister was in the chat at the time, and she said, "Have Dad do the Weenie Man song, which is a song that he used to sing us when we were growing up." And I was like, "Oh, that'd be." So I clipped it out of the show and sound patted it. And here's the Weenie Man song.
All right.
If I can remember, if I'm doing it right, you'll hear it right here.
I know a weenie man. He owns a weenie stand. He sells most anything from hot dogs on down. Someday I'll join his life and be his
His weenie wife.
hot dog. I love that weenie man.
So that's my mom and dad. What do you think
Okay.
of that? He learned that in 4-H. He says. That's what he says. Anyway, we heard that growing up, a lot. So this is the beginning of. So I added that to the segment also. I don't know how Mike feels about that, but I don't really care. I mean, if he wants to change it, he can do it. I have enough on my plate,
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Amy Perrier says hot dogs are 100% the worst food. but you guys are awesome.
She's wrong about that.
I would agree
They're
with
not
you
the
on that.
absolute worst food.
She's wrong about that, and that's all I'm going to say.
But
I'm going to say I agree with you. You're not wrong.
But the thing is, you know, what do you guys like on your hot dogs individually? And then you guys are in Morgantown, so
You're never
where's your
gonna get-
go-to for hot dogs when you go eat hot dogs? 'Cause I know you do. I know there's days you wake up and say, man,
Jeff absolutely does not eat hot dogs.
Yeah.
ever?
I can
Even the
tell-
hot dog
I can
man
tell
late
you
at
that
night?
right now.
I do not eat hot dogs.
You will not eat hot dogs.
I don't eat anything that goes on a hot dog. I don't eat a hot dog.
Did you have before, I'm sure?
I have not eaten hot dogs.
Ever. Wiener.
Never.
You're-
Never ate a wiener, never ate a hot dog, never had a weenie.
I'm sorry that you had to ask Jeff that question. 'Cause it's just the way it is, man.
Yeah.
He will not eat hot dogs.
So,
What about you? Do you eat hot dogs?
Regrettably, yeah. And here's the thing. I agree with Amy and I agree with Jeff that they are disgusting.
Well, have you ever
Wait
seen
a
them
minute.
being made?
That
It
doesn't-
looks like a
I
frosty.
don't want to see
It looks like a
being
chocolate
made.
frosty.
It doesn't mean that I haven't done things that I'm not proud of.
Well, I mean, everybody. Let's talk
So-
about it. Let's make a list.
No. I'm talking about, like, yeah, I've eaten hot dogs before, and I've enjoyed them. I lived in LA for 10, 11 years, and sometimes you walk out of a bar at 2 o'clock in the morning, or you leave somewhere, you're out late.
Well, in Morgantown that happens.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about a specific type.
Oh, okay.
They have bacon-wrapped hot dogs. And I don't even eat bacon. I don't eat that.
So they're just trying to they're dumbing down the disgusting
not.
of the hot dog.
They're-
Wrapping it in bacon makes everything better.
It's very good, especially if you happen to need the calories like immediately.
If you would, like a diabetic needs sugar, right?
Maybe,
Somebody just happens to
maybe.
need the calories right now.
Maybe,
you know?
and so,
You
but
need some
I mean,
bacon.
yeah, I've had those. If I had a choice, it would probably be like chili and coleslaw, which is really good. It's a good option. If I had a choice in life, I probably wouldn't eat hot dogs much at all. But sometimes I don't care, and I just don't.
Sometimes there's just nothing else available either. You know.
Generally, there is.
Sometimes.
Generally there is. I feel like it's a poor excuse. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go down the road.
It's
of
laziness.
saying-
It's laziness.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be that guy that says.
Well, what's your
I had to
what's your toppings when you do, if you ever would again?
I mean, like I said, chili and coleslaw. That's
Oh,
good.
Coleslaw, really? Why? But that should be a side, like it usually is.
I disagree, man. I'm sorry.
Other than like what Permane Brothers is on the sandwich, right?
yeah,
the
that's
slaw
all
and
good.
there's,
I
but
think-
like eating ribs though, it's on the side. You're not gonna put that right on top of your ribs. Well, I
I
mean,
guess you're
some
just gonna
people
have to
would.
try it for yourself, and you'll.
Some people,
you'll see
I'm
what
sure
you like
have,
and
but-
what you don't. Yeah, I mean,
It's not a food podcast.
or whatever, ketchup and mustard. I don't really care. I don't. Like, I'm not proud of myself, but since you made a big deal about the wiener segment,
I
I'll
did.
answer your questions.
I did make a big
especially
deal.
because Jeff can't answer.
He
And
can,
I'm
but
not
he just.
criticizing Jeff because he
I
cannot
can't. No,
answer.
you can't say that I can because I've never.
What
eaten
about
it.
like bratwurst? I mean, but something
I'll
bun
eat
shaped
bratwurst,
in
too.
like a hoagie
I'll eat-
No.
is in a bun, sort
No,
of.
none of that. I'm just gonna go
Oh,
on
yeah.
record right now. Like
Do you eat
I-
anything?
I do,
He
but
eats
I'm
stuff.
just gonna say right now, like food topics are like usually big off the table.
We don't
Pizza?
Topics, I don't-
Pizza? Come
I
on.
just started eating pizza probably within the last
We
few
just don't-
years.
Oh, we can't be friends.
We just.
We can be,
That's
but
true.
not
Come on.
food friends. We
That's
can't be
all right.
food friends.
I'm just saying, like, I'm just
I
like
have
the topic of
known
food is
I'm-
it's not one.
I'm picky
it-
also.
I've
with
known
my
Jeff
It makes
since-
me
I've
uncomfortable.
known Jeff since I was 15, and we've never eaten a meal together. And
No.
you know what? I don't care. We've drank Coke together, and Jeff will drink Coke all day long. That's all
Well,
he needs.
he forced me to
The
get
thing
cherry
about
Coke
me-
for him tonight.
The
You
thing
asked if
about
I
me-
wanted anything. I said I
There's
want.
there's a whole nother
You just-
20 ounce in the fridge.
You just bring me some cherry coke, and
That's
I'm
what he
happy
said in the
camper.
chat, and I was like, I better have cherry Coke here, or he's not
It's
going
in,
to do the
it's in
interview.
the rider. It's in the rider. It's
It
like
should
the
be, yeah,
M&Ms
yeah, it
and
needs
it's
to
like
be.
the M&Ms.
Have you guys ever done a
and
rider
M&Ms.
for a show?
No, we've never done any. No.
What's the biggest show?
I think we get laughed at if we asked for
not
one.
at the point of attendance, but or he played, or well, I guess he played with also. But what's the biggest show in Law Abiding Citizens time? What's the biggest show that meant so much to you guys? That I don't know. Anything that was good about it. I guess I can't really pull off.
There's a couple I can think of.
Go ahead.
I mean, we've gotten, for a band that's never really toured, we played out and about quite a bit throughout.
What's the farthest you've gone?
Richmond, Virginia.
Really?
That crack house we played.
What?
It literally was a crack house.
It was in a bar called that, or
No.
Oh,
it was a dude's garage
Oh, okay.
in a crack house.
And-
But that's not the show.
Yeah.
we could go on, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I think one of the like we've gotten to we've played with Boy Sets Fire. We've played with. We played with Thursday. We played with Shy Halud. We played with a lot of bands.
We played with Murphy's Law.
Yes.
We played with
sweet.
Agent Orange. We played with
Agent Orange.
Yeah.
Is awesome. Yeah.
a lot of great
Really?
bands, yeah.
Agent Orange was like the first punk band I got into when I was a kid.
That's badass.
I stole my
Where'd
friend
you play with
Justin's
them
tape.
All
Pleasant
this,
Street.
all this was
Really?
at 1,
All
2,
this was
3.
at 1, 2, 3.
Because for the longest time, if there was a touring hardcore or
Yeah.
punk band coming through, and
You
wanted
guys
to
were the
play-
ones.
Well, we were for the longest time. We're not the only ones
Yeah.
that ever existed, and certainly
Right.
not even the best, because that would be Lincoln, probably.
Yeah.
But we were the most long-lived, and we were or long-lived. We were around for a long time, and so
Yeah.
we got thrown on the bill. And
Yeah.
so because we were in the area, we got to play with. We played with Brothers Keeper. We played with Indecision.
Stretch Armstrong.
Stretch
Now,
Armstrong.
did you?
I think my favorite shows. We played with the Suicide Machines 3 times.
Oh, yeah.
And those guys,
Seriously?
yeah, those
Brothers
guys.
Cool to us.
Did you hang out with all these bands and stuff also?
The Suicide Machines were the
Sometimes.
one.
I guess some of them are kind of.
Well, they were the one.
Everybody was cool. I've never
No.
had a negative
Yeah.
experience.
No, every band we've
That's
been
badass.
with was really cool. But
Yeah.
out of all the bands that we played with, the one band that actually hung out and talked with us was Jay and the rest of the guys from the Suicide Machines.
They were really cool to us.
And they were very nice. They're like, anything at the merch table you want. Your password is Alcoholocaust. Tell the dude he'll give you whatever you want. And so like they got I got a hoodie and some stuff. But
I never heard that, so I guess Jeff kept that to himself.
no, I told you because Jamie went and
He
got
never
something
gave you
too.
the password.
But
That's
no,
Jamie,
like
that's not me.
they
You, you and Jamie.
those
that's all
those
right.
guys were so cool
It's cool.
because like we played. I think that first show that they played at the bar, it was us opening for them, and Cryptorchid Chipmunk was on the bill.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
And
I remember them.
and we
Well-
played that show, and it was a blast. And then the next time they came through, it was they were on tour, and it was Suicide Machines, Against All Authority, The Code from Pittsburgh,
I think I remember them.
and then us. And our name got handwritten on the flyer because we didn't get booked till later. And I'm loading my gear in, and I'm setting up against the wall, and I feel somebody tap me on the back on my shoulder, and I turn around. It's like, hey man, I'm so glad to see you guys are here again. And I look, and it was Jay Navarro from Suicide Machines.
What?
He remembered us,
Wow.
and he had his merch guy with him, and he said, Jay and I talked for a minute, and he walked away, and the merch guy stood and looked at me, and he goes, dude, you have no idea how excited he got when we rolled up and he saw your name on the flyer.
That's fantastic.
He started going off telling me how much I needed to watch you guys and how good you were, and it was
That's
cool.
badass.
It ended up while we played. I think Chris Frum's sister was supposed to go watch the merch table for us. We didn't have anybody- and I looked back, and Jay Navarro was sitting there.
He's doing it.
He was sitting there doing our merch for us,
That's
like selling our
badass.
stuff,
Yeah.
and they were
Wow.
really cool to us. Like they had come through town a third time, and we were on that bill as well. And
Which is like a month or
That-
two before we broke up.
yeah, that was right. Like I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks before our final show.
Yeah.
Because Jay, that was the destruction before definite. I can't remember how to say it. But
Sorry.
destruction. I don't know. Anyways,
For something.
destruction by definition. No, that was the first album. Anyways,
So you're good.
they were playing, and Jay said halfway through their set, he's like, hey, Law Abiding Citizens is they're getting ready to play their last show here in the next couple weeks. You guys make sure you get your asses back down to come see them play, because it always sucks to see a really good band die. And
Right.
I think I have that on video, because I videotaped all 3 of their sets from that show. And I'm standing in the crowd when he said that. That was like the biggest compliment we could have ever gotten, because they've asked us if we'd toured before, and we're like, no, not really. And he's like, if you guys would tour, he's like, if you guys could tour, he's like, you guys would be huge. And that to me is the biggest compliment I've ever gotten from any band that I've ever played with, and I've gotten to play with a lot of really good.
Unfortunately,
good bands.
we're getting towards the end, and I don't want to forget to show off what you brought for me, which I'm so grateful for.
No,
Yeah.
no problem, man.
This is the stickers. Everybody knows I got a crazy fetish for stickers. Maybe we need to do a sticker segment. I don't know. Ghost Road's your other band.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you? Has he not invited you to Ghost Road to be in Ghost Road, or you don't want to be in Ghost Road?
We've already got like 5 of us.
They
in
have
here.
no need of me in Ghost Road.
Yeah.
Stickers. Koozie.
Mm-hmm.
You can always use a koozie. And this is special. A Karma to Burn album.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I gave you that because I wasn't sure your turntable situation, but
It's on the way.
I will give you another version of that. I will give you a 12-inch vinyl version of that if you'd like.
You don't have to, but I mean, I'm not going to say no.
I've got a couple of boxes of those in the basement when I was
That's
helping
badass.
out Will, so I will bring you a vinyl of that as well.
A Law Abiding Citizens album.
There you go.
And, oops. Oh, picks.
Yeah.
You can, but I can't really use these because that's going to rub off. So when that rubs off, can I get a hold of you and say, hey, I need some more?
Actually, the
Are
company
these
that,
vintage?
In Tune Guitar Picks makes those for me. Those are actually don't rub off. It takes a while.
Oh,
it
really?
takes you got to wear the,
some of them. Like
you got to
Fender
wear that
ones
pick
as well.
out before that design's going to come off.
Well, I'm going to use them then. Put those back there on the table, so I'll use them. Now tell us a little bit about this. I don't know much about this.
That
this
was
project.
that was the one of the last bands I was in. It's called Jet Set Vapor Trails. I played drums on that record.
You can't see it because of the plastic, but like
Yeah.
this.
There you go. I played drums in that band with my friend Thomas Moore, who used to be in Velez Manifesto back in the mid '80s. They were like the house band for the Underground Railroad. Really good stuff. That we were a 3-piece, for the lack of a better term, alt rock band.
Yeah.
Tom was an amazing guitar player, singer, and songwriter. He passed away a few years ago while we were working on our final record that I've just got in the mail the other day after 4 years of finishing the mix and trying to figure out where to get it pressed at. And so I've got Tom's final record that'll be out soon. I have the records. I just got to get it.
I'm
make
very
a
grateful
release
for all
plan.
this stuff. I wasn't able to give you. I'm on the end of my merch stuff again, and you know how things are with money and Biden and all that stuff. I'm not going to get into that. I don't do
Well,
politics.
I got tons of this stuff in my basement.
I
so.
usually change the marquee at the end of the show, which is right behind you. It says Law Abiding Citizens in 185 because you guys are episode 185 of these I've
Oh,
done.
damn, that's a lot.
Wow,
And,
I was wondering what the number was for. I was like,
That's what it's for. It's
That's
to remind
cool.
me. It's to remind me to take my medication. No, I'm kidding. No, it's episode 185. So I'm coming up on 200 at some point, but it's going to come up fast.
Right on.
that's awesome, man. Good for you.
In 3 years, at the end of June, 3 years of this.
Damn.
Well, I thought I was done after episode 10, honestly, and then
Yeah.
kind of let people just, who's going to be on the next show? I don't know. I mean, but I'm so grateful for you guys coming down. I'm grateful for the gifts.
Oh, you're very
I
welcome.
don't
Thank
you.
you.
expect
man.
gifts. You know,
Nah, I appreciate the
I
fact
think I got
that
a 20 in my wallet.
I appreciate the fact that you asked us to come on the show. I
Yeah.
mean,
And-
this is fun.
the 27th at Pleasant Street.
May 27th.
May 27th.
And don't even need to tell people time. Just take the whole day off and make sure you're at Pleasant Street at some point in the evening, because it's
Well,
going to be
you
well,
want to make sure
awesome.
you get there before it
get
begins.
parking
not
space,
after.
things
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
instead of changing the marquee, I'm going to add the sticker to the wall of
Please.
stickers
Yeah.
Cool.
Do what you got to
because
do.
I
Right
have
on.
a few of them. Yes. So is that one good for the wall? Or do you guys?
No, go
Yeah?
for it.
It's your wall.
I will
it's
do
your
that. I'm going to have
sticker,
to
man.
get up and walk around, but I'll do that.
It's your
at the-
wall. That's why I gave you more than one.
Yeah.
I might have to add like 4 of them up there.
Okay.
I think.
I still got another stack at the house, so you need more.
But I'm not going to I'm not going to change the marquee because the next show is next Saturday a week, with Amber's Wake. They're from Sacramento, very good band, and Harmon that I saw at Static X show last night. He might be joining me as co-host for that, so that'd be cool. He hasn't done it with me for a while.
Cool.
Let's see what else. Oh, okay. You might want to watch your ears. This is when I scream. This is the only time I ever scream.
Okay.
And I'm only doing this because on the 18th of April, I'm going to see a band from San Diego I've had on the show. They're doing an East Coast run with Empty and Meadows, and they're called The Undertaking. Now the reason
Was that the scream?
Yeah. were you
yes, that was
screaming
it.
there?
That was,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's yeah.
Okay.
I was getting ready to take my headphones. off.
They have an exclamation point at the end of their name, so I took it upon myself to do that, and they didn't tell me to stop when I had them on the show, so I tell everybody about them. And The Undertaking is going to be in Youngstown at Westside Bowl on the 18th. So I'm
Right
gonna
on.
go over there and hang out with those guys, do an interview with them in person this time, and it's going to be a rager. It's going to be badass. Can't wait for that. And that's pretty much all I got coming up. You guys, is there anything beyond the show in May?
Who the hell knows, man? I mean,
Is there a
we
big
didn't-
big tour, U.S. tour?
That'd be nice, but
Come
Yeah.
on, I'll be your manager.
You know
well,
what?
you know
I
the
think-
Suicide Machines are back together. I can give Jay that call.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
sure.
do it. You could do a reunion
I think
tour.
LBC was meant to be a regional phenomenon, and it's just the way it worked out. I honestly have no regrets about that.
Trish did say come to Nova Scotia. So you might have to.
I
swing
love
up that way.
Canada. I love Canada.
It's cold as shit up there all the time, though.
It's lovely. I was up in Saskatchewan in the beginning of the year. It was cold as shit. It was beautiful. It was lovely. It's a beautiful country, and lovely people. Not without its problems, like any country in the world, but a great place. So
We'll keep playing, and we'll do a 30-year. Come back in 30 year or what? 25 is the next big one, though, right? If you're still
Well,
doing
we've-
25-year reunion.
Jesus Christ, man.
You're gonna be in walkers.
No, I mean, if you think about it, we've
Jesus
already been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were together.
25, not 30.
Yeah, well, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
we were together as a band for 10 years solid, and then
Nobody even remembers the number anymore.
7 years
been that
later.
long.
7 years later, we did a reunion, and then
That's right. Yeah,
another 7 years later, we did another. No,
We did. It was,
Was it 5?
4 years later. We did a reunion. Not even 4, because the last show was in March of 2006.
Because you missed it. You missed it.
And then the next show after that was January 2nd of 2010. So it was like it was.
We'll keep doing them every 7 years.
Yeah. So
roughly.
Or 4 years.
So
or
roughly.
4,
or whatever.
roughly, yeah.
Or whatever.
But then, and it's 2010, and then we did the last one in 2017.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
so
that
that
was-
was 7 years. So maybe that's what my brain.
not 7.
A buddy of mine in
Was it
Charleston
7?
has
6 years.
he sees numbers.
2010 to 2017.
I'm talking about
That's 6 years.
2017.
If you think, depending on what day it happened.
For Christ's sake. For God's sake.
6.5.
Now I know.
Thank
why
you
I
guys
had
so much for
glad I
coming
was
down
here.
and doing this. I didn't even expect you to come down here and do this in person, but why not?
What,
So,
argue? Like
I
an
would have
old
came up to
married
you.
Couple? You didn't expect us to do that in person?
What? What is it?
Argue like an old married couple?
No, I mean, am I? I don't know. But no, I
you're not. We are.
Oh,
We are.
no, I would have came to Morgantown to you guys anyway. Morgantown's a hop, skip, and a jump. That's what the old timers say. I guess.
Right on.
Back in my day. Back in my day.
Hey, this is for Trish if she's still watching.
Yeah, I'm sure she.
If there's a band that I really love from Canada, Ghost Road's gotten to play with a couple times. They're called the Anti-Queens. If you don't know who the Anti-Queens are, go check those ladies out. They're incredible.
Oh, they're ladies, all female.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
They
still play?
Yeah. They've got it. They're working on a new record. They just did a tour with Danko Jones last year.
Why are they anti-clean though? That's a whole other podcast.
I think
I'm
it's
not
like
in the band. I can't answer
think it's-
the band name.
I think it's like the Antichrist,
Oh, and then
but they're queens. They're anti-queens.
gotcha.
So it's
Kind of like the Queen of England kind
the
of deal.
opposite of a queen, I think, is what they're going for there. Probably.
Well, hit them up and tell them to
I'm
come
not
on the
gonna
show, and then
argue,
I will
so.
ask them on the show, and you guys
Yeah, get
co-host,
'em on the
both
show.
co-host with me. Yeah.
You can
Figure
find
this
them
shit
all
out.
over Instagram and Facebook and
Yeah.
stuff. Like I said, they've got. I think Val has a new album they're working on, and she's also in another band called Black Cat Attack from up there, which is
That
just
rhymes.
really fun.
Black Cat Attack.
It does.
Yeah.
No, they're really good. So, yeah, Trish, if you've never heard the Anti Queens or Black Cat Attack, check them out. They're really
The
good.
only thing when you say black cat, the only thing I think of is those fireworks that called black cats. That you just throw them at people. Like
Oh, I know
shins
what
and
you're talking
stuff.
about.
Yeah, I got a
Yeah.
whole pack of them in the closet in there. I'm gonna instead of changing the marquee tonight because it's clear back there. I'm still gonna go back there and I'm gonna put the sticker up probably above, probably right beside Byzantine. That's probably a good spot.
Right on.
We played shows with them.
Yeah.
Jeremiah and I played in a
badass
band
guys.
with
in
Ojeda.
We were in a band.
That was
he
Burner.
He was in Burner.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a
I still have a
badass.
photo of one
I'm gonna
of
play
our
the show
shows.
out tonight because I've kind of slacked on this. When I had Ira Revere on from East Palestine, Ohio, right when we were done, I put a post on Instagram. If you can afford to, because they're not collecting money, they don't need money. They need water. It's things that it's contaminated with the spill and everything, and so I've been able to get a little bit of water donated here. Or I'm going to take it directly to them myself because I'm going to be in Youngstown, not only for their show but for the undertaking on the 18th. I'm sorry if I scared you.
No.
But
You can't scare Jeff.
You might catch me.
but
off guard.
I will. I'm going to personally deliver this water to them. If anybody out there can donate a case of water, I will personally deliver to the Ira Beer guys, and because they don't it's one of those things you don't know when the water coming out of their faucets they use for everything
Tell
or
them
it's
to
going to
ask
be
the
usable.
people in Flint, Michigan, how long it takes.
Yeah,
to
I
get
mean
water
they're still
fixed.
dealing with it up there. I
Yeah.
think, and then there was
Yeah.
Camp Lejeune also. You know,
all over the place.
You don't know how shitty things are until it happens to you, and that's exactly what they talked about on the show.
Things are pretty shitty, and I think we're figuring out how shitty they are. So yeah.
So I gotta. I told them I have to do something for you. You know, we're still living our lives, and they don't know what's going on. You know,
right.
So that's what I'm gonna do for them. And I figured they just put out a new album, and I'm gonna play a little bit of their stuff here at the end.
Cool.
While I navigate the wires back to the Byzantine sticker to put. Law-abiding citizens. See, I could change. You got to put an exclamation point at the end of that, and I'll do it every time.
I don't know, man.
I might do it every time anyway.
It's too late. Jeff already printed up those stickers. He can't get his money back.
I can Sharpie one in there, I bet you. Or I'd have to use white accents. Anyway.
It's your sticker, man. You do what you want with it.
I will do anything I want. All right. Thank you guys so much for being on. It's been a whale of a time. And I'll see you on the 27th for a freaking amazing day, night,
of May, yes.
And a happy early birthday. Happy early birthday, right?
Sure, yeah.
When's your birthday, Jeremiah? Don't feel left out.
What? I'm not getting into that.
We'll do that on the next show.
You know. Next show. All right.
Here's Ira Rivera with I can't see because it's face down. Face down. Okay, say it like that. Okay, here we go. Thanks, guys.
Hey, no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Face down.
For saying your name will I be bleeding out another breath I could have kept, wishing I had never said the missing piece that I am ripping out of my head. You never read, we both know that you never get. Jaws will drop in awe, faults become the law. Time on my luck, but I'm getting up. Time on my luck, but I'm getting up. I could tell you that I'm feeling that low, but I know you'll avoid the crowd. Guess we're gonna have to do it all alone, 'cause I know you're face down. You're placing blame, I wonder will it be in your head, or will you let it slowly fill up with regret? So let it go and take its time and see where you